Hey guys, the video I'm posting is on my friend's 3rd annual appreciation event that he held. It was for a veterans concert, and I even had a backstage access pass for me. And the groups that you'll be seeing in this video is the military ceremony, which is almost 22 minutes long. After that, Lyin, the Eagles tribute band, had played, and I caught 14, maybe 15 minutes of that. And then the main event was Jake McVey, and I caught around 6-10 minutes or so, approximately. That way you can have an idea of the time frame in the video. If you wanted to skip the military ceremony, you can. I even bought me a t-shirt there for the Lyin because they were selling shirts. There will be parts in the video where you might be hearing coughing from me or a little bit of talking. When I was trying to record Jake McVey, I got so far in it, and then my battery had died because I was using up a lot of my video time and whatnot, and because of the heat, it was draining my battery. I was out in it since 3:30 Saturday afternoon. Didn't get home till like around midnight. I just want to let you know that what was going on with the video and whatnot, and I hope you enjoy it, and take care.
If you will all rise for the presentation of the colors. Color Guard. Color. Start. Color. Halt. Freeze and up. Order, arm. Right. Sit. Hold. March. We have a great program lined up for you tonight. It's my honor to introduce our guest speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Bruin. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Bruin was commissioned a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps in August of 1985, completed flight training as a CH-46 helicopter pilot in 1988, During his career, he deployed 5 times to the Western Pacific, Desert Storm, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Lieutenant Colonel Bruin was also an exchange pilot with the British Royal Navy and deployed to the Mediterranean Sea, the Netherlands, and northern Norway. He commanded the detachment of 2 Marine helicopter squadrons stationed at Edwards Air Force Base in California and was instructor at the Marine Aviation Weapons School in Yuma, Arizona twice. He retired from active duty in 2006. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Michael Bruin.
Thanks, Dave, for that introduction. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do a little sound check here just to make sure everybody in the back can hear me well. You Marines will clearly understand what I'm trying to say when I say, "Hoorah!" There we go. There we go. I had the extreme privilege of serving this great country as a Marine CH-46 helicopter pilot for 21 years. My job at that point was to put Marines in the landing zones they needed to be in, plus or minus 30 seconds anywhere on this planet. And the great thing was I got to see a whole lot of this planet. Currently, I'm a farmer. My base of operations is 6 miles southeast of here as the crow flies. So this is my ground right here. Because I'm a farmer, I became acquainted with Dwight Lindquist, Petty Officer, First Class, who put together this whole thing for us today. This is his 3rd time doing this. It's a great event. I got to meet Dwight. Yeah, give him a good round of applause. And if you see him, pat him on the back. He's got a blue shirt that says America across it, and really put together a fine event for us today. Thanks very much, Dwight. I was honored and humbled when he asked me to come speak for a few minutes. He really didn't give me any topics or guidance of what to talk about. All he said was, "Mike, if you could speak for 68 minutes, that would be great." And at first I thought, yeah, that's over an hour. That's a long time. But I think what he meant was 6 to 8 minutes. So we'll see where this goes. I wasn't really sure where to begin when I was in my closet, and I actually still have my dress blue uniform hanging in the closet. I look at the ribbons on the chest of that jacket, and I don't see things that I've done. What I see are the faces and the places of all the great young men and women I got to work with throughout my career. And that reminded me of just a little story that I want to share with you today. It started out many years ago for me, brand new captain. Because I was a naval aviator, I had to have one of those sporty call signs, like on Top Gun, you know, Maverick or Goose. And so this particular young captain, his call sign was Boingo. Now, Boingo was standing group duty at the MAG-24 headquarters in Hawaii on the 9th of August, 1990. Now, he was expecting a nice quiet night, hoping for a nice quiet night. Turned out to be not so much, because 1 week earlier, the Iraqi army had crossed the border into Kuwait and taken the country. 1 week later, young Boingo is listening at the door as the group commander tells him to form his staff and pull him in 22:30 at night for a conference to decide which squadrons from Hawaii are going to go first. 3 weeks later, young Boingo was standing on the tarmac in Al Jabal Airfield in Saudi Arabia. So from the time Saddam Hussein crossed the line, 1 month to the day later, our 46th Squadron was there. Now, the U.S. military had not deployed in mass like this since the Vietnam War. We've had some very small minor skirmishes along the way, which were all handled fantastically, but something of this scale had been done, and it was very obvious. When the Marines forward deploy, especially in a hurry when they need to get there fast, their equipment is aboard ships that are pre-positioned throughout the world. And those ships steam to the location, the airplanes come inside of C-5s, and we all link up. Now, unfortunately, being from Hawaii, all of my gear was jungle green camo. And here we are in the middle of the desert. So we spent a lot of time painting and changing our color scheme so we could fit in a little better. Some other ways where it showed the whole deployment thing wasn't quite worked out on this scale was when we arrived. It was about 3 a.m., hot as blazes. Obviously, it's August. Nobody awake. We had to find somebody to shake and say, hey, our squadron's here. Where do we go? And they said, across the highway there in that patch of sand, there's a pile of tents. Go ahead and grab a few, and if you could, you may want to set them up before the sun comes up because it's going to get really hot. So that's what we did. We set up our tents. Didn't really have showers at that point. We had some very clever Marines who took a GP tent, ran a copper pipe all the way around, poked some holes in it. MREs were the fare, 3 meals a day. There was no other food, no chow hall. Our heads were very much reminiscent of what you see in TV, half 55-gallon barrels flipped over, wooden platforms on top, doused with diesel to clean and repeat. So this is 1990, and these are hardships, these are a little bit challenging, but this is all very workable for Marines. This is no problem. The problem was the lack of communications, especially with the communications in the rear. It was 1 full month before I got a letter from home. And all you veterans understand and remember the importance of a mail call and how well and good that made you feel receiving that letter from home. But the other part to that is my family didn't hear any word from me for that month also. Now for some of you that doesn't seem like very long, but in 1990, a month without communication is a long time with the family. This was before the internet. There was no Skyping and FaceTime and email. So this was a significant challenge. Extremely tough for the families at home. Now we were over there and we were focused on our mission. So we had a job to do. We were getting our aircraft ready. In our minds, we were stopping the assault down into Saudi Arabia now of the Iraqi forces. We had a job to do. We could keep our minds off of this lack of communication from home. But our families could not. They're watching this now on CNN, and CNN is now the big thing. So all these events are taking place thousands of miles away, and they're sitting at home wondering, boy, was that aircraft that was lost, or that ship that hit a mine, or that vehicle that was destroyed, or that group of troops in contact, was that my husband's unit, my wife's unit, my family's unit? They didn't know. My wife asked me just a couple days ago what I was going to say today. She's like, I hope you have something going here, you know, what are you going to say? So I told her roughly what I was going to talk about, and she shared with me a story that she has never told me. 30 years now, she has not told me this. As we were getting ready to deploy, the squadrons got together and thought it would be a good idea to watch a film. It's called We Were Soldiers Once and Young. There's about a unit in Vietnam, the 1st Battalion of the 7th Cavalry, went into Ia Drang Valley, into a hornet's nest of enemy activity, lost a lot of soldiers. Her takeaway from that, though, was the evidence of the flow of information back to the families who lost soldiers that day. And it was terrible. It put an image in her mind that just rocked her. The picture of that nondescript government sedan with government plates on it pulling up in front of the house. And she never told me this until 3 days ago, but when she drove home to our house, she would come slowly around the corner and she would look for a sedan every time. She did that again 14 years later when I went to Iraq. So we as soldiers, we had a mission, we knew what to do. Our families were not so lucky. Now I know you're all thinking, okay, Boingo, this is a pretty interesting story, but you haven't made one reference to lock and load or cleared hot or even a reference to putting warheads on foreheads. That unfortunately is going to have to be a discussion for a different day. Because the point of this story today is, we gather here today to say thank you to our veterans. And this is a great event and a great opportunity to do that. But I also think we need to remember to say thank you to the families, friends, and loved ones of veterans who oftentimes went through just as much struggle, sometimes harder, along the way. The ones back home watching it on CNN and praying that that is not their loved one they're watching on TV. They were the ones keeping the family together, keeping the finances in check. dealing with the daily struggles that are life. So please, with me, thank those families, friends, and loved ones of the veterans, right along with the veterans today. We appreciate you coming out today. God bless you all, and God bless America.
I want to thank the Lieutenant Colonel Bruin for being here tonight and reminding all of us when we go off to war, when we was over there, there's a lot of veterans out here. Think about what your families went through when they was home. Now we'll have the folding of the flag. Do you know why the American flag is folded 13 times? Have you ever wondered why the flag of the United States of America is folded 13 times when it is lowered or when it is folded and handed to the next of kin at a burial of a veteran? So we're going to read them off tonight and fold the flag. While they're coming around, I want to remind everybody the Kaibos are over here. There's bouncy houses over for the kids' games. The food stand is back here. He's got wonderful food. It is very good. The drinks, beer, pop, water is over by the VFW there. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm David Lee, commander of the VFW, also the district commander for this district. So with that, if we'll have the flag folding presentation. The fold of the flag will be presented tonight by the United States Air Force and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, American Legion Honor Guard. The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their life for the defense of our country to attain the peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weakened nature, for as American citizens, trusting it is to Him we turn in time of peace, as well in time of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they be found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day, and to honor Mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, their love, loyalty, and devotion that the characters of the men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the Father, for he, too, has given his son and daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold, in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen representing the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorify in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold, in the eyes of a Christian citizen representing an emblem of eternity, and glorified in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 13th fold, when the flag is completely folded, the stars uppermost remind us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington, and to the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the right, privilege, and freedom we enjoy today. This concludes the folding of the flag and why there is 13 folds to the American flag. May God bless.
And I
to turn from here and go. Running like a child from me. Won't start down the seven bridges road. There are stars in the southern sky, and if ever you decide you should go, there is a taste of time, sweet and honey, down the seven bridges road.
the smell of colitas passing up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, some shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. Stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard a mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle, showed me the way. There were voices in that corridor, thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. go. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Some fun. This next song I do for you is a song to be my next single out on country radio, and I couldn't be more excited to play it for you guys tonight. And I grew up in Iowa, and the song's all about falling in love at one of them Iowa stoplights. It was late in the day, it was hot, it was not in my hometown. Was a blue 72, yeah, she knew she was cool with the top down. We're looking at a Mustang, we're looking at a Chevy Chrome. I was looking at a look at me. Ain't it crazy how it used to be? It's a time, I'm coming. Changing my and you don't cry. It all happened at the stoplight. So lean on the gas, push you up, the grass, we can't lose up. Oh, if from 0 to 60, I swear it just hit me how to choose her. That's right, honey. Looking into my finger, looking at the shadow. I was looking at the girl that you made. Ain't it crazy how endless the minutes of time have cut on the road, changing your life. Ain't it funny how this hit just sometimes when you don't cry. It all happened at the stoplight. Time, held a cut on the red, but changing your life. Ain't it crazy how endless 3 minutes of time, held a cut on the red, but changing your life. Ain't it funny how it's just sometimes when you don't try. It all happened at a stoplight. At a stoplight. Make some noise! Are y'all ready? All right, that's not good enough. Raise them drinks up in the air, everybody, whatever you got. Water, soda, pop, doesn't matter. Raise them up, raise them up, raise them up. All right, on the count of 3, we're going to make so much noise that everybody else around us is wondering why the hell they're not here. Are you with me? All right, 1, 2, 3, holla! Yeah, cheers. Well, let's do a good old timey one, boys.